Well, North Korea is having no part of a new United Nations resolution tightening sanctions on Pyongyang, and we are getting dramatic new pictures of North Korea's defiance from state media. Take a look at this. They show Kim Jong-un visiting with troops on two islands along the maritime border with South Korea. North Korea is conducting a series of military drills which correspond to joint US-South Korean military exercises. In Pyongyang, top military leaders held a rally at Kim Il-sung Square. Thousands of people turned out to hear speakers say North Korea has a right to a preemptive nuclear strike. Now, Pyongyang has announced it's cutting off its hotline to South Korea and severing its non-aggression treaty with the South.
The UN agreed to escalate sanctions on Thursday, the same day that North Korea warned of a preemptive nuclear strike on the US. Military experts say it's an empty threat. Washington has responded.
One has to take what any government says seriously. It's for that reason that I repeat here that we are fully capable of defending the United States. But I would also say that this kind of extreme rhetoric has not been unusual for this regime, unfortunately.
The UN Security Council has voted unanimously to step up sanctions. North Korea has repeatedly gone ahead with nuclear tests and missile launches. The latest test was last month.
Among the clauses of a new resolution, financial sanctions making it more difficult for the country to pay for its nuclear program, travel restrictions on people working for companies linked to the nuclear industry, and new powers for countries to inspect North Korean cargo that may contain conventional arms or nuclear technology.
It's now mandatory to inspect cargo that could be related to weapons development. Crews of ships who refuse inspections will not be allowed to dock. Previous resolutions only requested such action. Council members have expressed concern over the use of diplomatic privileges. They agreed for the first time to require member nations to strengthen their monitoring of North Korean diplomats.
The action taken by the Security Council must be balanced one, must be proportionate, and to address the nuclear issue and to prevent escalation of tension.
Japan's UN Ambassador Tsuneo Nishida urged officials in Pyongyang to think hard about what path they should take.
These sanctions will bite, and bite hard.
Sanctions designed to punish the reclusive nation for its recent ballistic missile and nuclear tests.
The strength, breadth, and severity of these sanctions will raise the cost to North Korea of its illicit nuclear program.
A program Pyongyang has refused to end, despite repeated diplomatic efforts and multiple Security Council resolutions. But today's action by the UN is stronger, making it harder for North Korea to finance and obtain nuclear materials. And comes with the support of North Korea's strongest ally, China.
China is always the get-out-of-jail-free card for North Korea.
But Beijing may be changing its support of North Korea, saying they back today's sanctions in hopes of getting Pyongyang back to the diplomatic table.
So I think that there are signs that China is beginning to step up. They say that they enforce these sanctions. We take them at their word.
Strong words Washington hopes will resonate with North Korean leaders.
North Korea will achieve nothing by continued threats and provocations. These will only further isolate the country and its people and undermine international efforts to promote peace and stability in Northeast Asia.
Well, South Koreans are normally pretty cool and collected about this kind of rhetoric and this kind of tense situation, but there is a sense at the moment that the atmosphere is more tense than usual. North Korea has come out with a series of threats, the preemptive nuclear strike, the fact that it's withdrawing from the armistice agreement, and now these latest threats that you mentioned there, Martine. And I think while it's not unprecedented for North Korea to withdraw from these kinds of agreements, to breach these kinds of agreements, it does make the situation and less predictable and more unstable. And that, I think, is what's fueling the tension here.